Hello, 4th grade students and math families. I'm hoping that this video here at Mr. Panza's website will help you improve your math fact skills as well as help you skip count. I know that a lot of students feel like me when I was a student. I'd see problems like this and I would feel like this. My hope is that using these flexible math strategies, including the multiplication chart, which I'm going to show you in this video, will help you move from this anxious, nervous, scared feeling to happy, calm, cool, and collected students who know their math facts and know strategies on how to get the answer correct every single time. Let's take a look at the math multiplication chart and see that you really don't have all that many to learn or memorize. When I look at this chart, you notice I've crossed a couple of rows out immediately. Here's why. I know the identity property of multiplication tells me that anything times 1 is going to be that number. So right away, I can cross out all of those multiplication facts. I also am very good at skip counting by 5, so I can cross out all of the multiplication facts for 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. I'm also excellent at skip counting by 10. Because this is a younger grade skill, we can cross out the multiplication 10 fact families as well. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90, and 100. Now, there's a couple other facts you can also knock out right away if you check out my Silly Stories video. See, you wonder why there's a star next to this number 16. The ones that have stars next to them are the ones that I say we've learned tricks for. Which if you watch that Silly Stories video, you know that the trick for getting 16 is when you multiply 4 by 4, you get 16. That's the reason there's a star there. There's also a star next to 36 because we know that 6 times 6 is 36. Why? Because in the Silly Stories video, it tells us that two thirsty sixes walked into the desert and they became thirsty 6 or 36. We also remember that 7 times 7 in the Silly Story video tells us that they both play for the same football team, and that's the 49ers. Those can be knocked out right away, which means we really only have to memorize or use touch points and the songs that we talked about in other videos to learn the ones that are still popped out like this. But you don't have to know all of these facts because if you know how to figure out one way, then you can figure out the other way. Here's why. If you are asked 7 times 3, really you're just being asked, there are 7 groups of 3. Or you could say 3 groups of 7. Regardless of how you ask it, you're going to get the same exact answer. And that's why half of this chart is blacked out immediately. So if you're looking at a multiplication chart like this, I encourage you to black out half of it, star the ones that I have starred, and cross out the 1s, the 5s, and the 10s table because those you don't have to learn. And for all the other ones, we'll learn flexible math strategies to help. We'll go over this a little bit more in detail in class, but pause this video right now and copy this chart as you see it in your organizer. Thanks, and I hope this helps.